As I promised, Thom Hartmann is joining us from the airport, I believe. Thom, welcome to your show.
Hey, Sam. Thank you.
So, right off the top, what were your thoughts on the debate last night?
I thought it was the number one. I thought Bernie did a great job. I thought Hillary Clinton did a great job too. I think the thing that she established for people who might otherwise be Bernie supporters is that she would make, a very good president. She might not be as ideologically pure as Bernie, but the contrast between her and the Republicans, which she kept drawing, was really, really vivid. The other thing that I think is fascinating is how online and among people who watched the debate, Bernie won, but among the punditry class here in D.C. in particular, every headline I've read, I went over to Politico, there were 3 or 4 of them about how Clinton won, Clinton smashed it, it was all over MSNBC and CNN this morning, and Fox, they're all talking about it, Clinton won the debate. But if you go, look at any of the online polls, it was Sanders won the debate. And
what do you think makes for that disconnect?
I think that the conventional wisdom is just so, there's this herd mentality in the media. You know that you run the District Sentinel here in Washington D.C. You're in the media world. What are your thoughts on it, Sam?
Well, I guess you could go one of two ways. The Beltway media here is just so disconnected from average viewers that they don't know exactly what they're looking at when they watch debates and what exactly appeals to average voters. That's kind of representative of how the media was taken by surprise over Donald Trump's rise. You would write off Donald Trump as a legitimate candidate, and yet polls show that people are attracted to him. And of course, the other explanation might be just that the mainstream media, the Beltway media, is already in the tank for Hillary here, either looking for a press secretary job in the future or just access for interviews later in the future. Yeah,
and that's the thing to keep in mind is that that's kind of the name of the game in modern American media is you can only maintain your very well paid job if the politicians you're reporting on continue to show up on your show.
Right.
And, the Clintons are relatively famous for taking care of their friends and punishing their enemies.
Yeah.
And I don't think most of the people, I know I've talked with a couple of people who do the kind of media that you and I are doing, Sam, here, kind of opinion media on radio and television, and asked about, would you come out and support Bernie? People who I know support Bernie. And they're like, oh, no, I don't want to destroy my career. And, it's really, yeah. I've literally had that conversation with 2 people. So
my takeaway from last night was for this debate to have been a game changer, one of 2 things needed to happen. Either Bernie Sanders falls flat on his face, kind of stops his momentum, and Hillary Clinton just, becomes the presumptive candidate once again where we were 6 months ago. Of course, that didn't happen. Bernie performed fairly well last night. I think he spoke to his base, and he had a platform where he had millions of other new people listening in who might not have heard of him, who might be drawn to his message. The other thing that needed to happen was Hillary Clinton falls on her face and has a terrible debate. Her months of poll numbers slide doesn't stop. It continues going, and maybe Joe Biden jumps in or something. And of course, that didn't happen either. Hillary Clinton performed very well. So I see us today in the same position that we were in before the debate, where Hillary Clinton still is in control, but Bernie Sanders is still right there behind her.
Yeah. It's interesting, Sam. I had on the program on the TV show last week, I had a fellow gun control guy on, and I asked him before we went on the air. I just got a sense from reading over his press release. I said, are you a Hillary surrogate? And he said, well, no, not officially. And so I didn't go any farther with that. And then in the middle of this discussion about gun controls, he goes off on Bernie Sanders and how this family tried to sue and ended up with a $200,000 fine because you can't sue because Bernie voted for this law to protect gun manufacturers. Mm-hmm. And we that clip is up on YouTube, and I sent that to somebody to Richard Eskow. Richard also,
yeah,
who has been doing a little bit of work for Bernie's campaign, and said, Richard, I will bet anything that this is going to be the line of attack that's taken against Bernie during the debates. And sure enough, it was almost word for word. And it was Martin O'Malley who did it. You know, he said, I brought here with me the family. I mean, he literally had the family that was on the end of that lawsuit in the audience. And he was going to turn it into one of those presidential moments where the president says, up in the gallery, we have the wounded soldier from Afghanistan, you know, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And what's his name? Anderson Cooper just didn't give him the time to do it, you know. But that was going to be his big moment. He was going to take Bernie down.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
Yeah, I saw that, and we'll bring in some of those clips that were when Hillary. I was surprised because I wasn't sure whether or not Hillary was going to go after Bernie in this debate, whether she was going to punch down, and it turns out she really went after Bernie early on with this. We've got clip number 6. Do we have time for clip number 6? All right, let's cue up clip number 6. This was Hillary's first attack on Bernie, and it was on the gun issue.
Secretary Clinton, is Bernie Sanders tough enough on guns?
No, not at all. I think that we have to look at the fact that we lose 90 people a day from gun violence. This has gone on too long, and it's time the entire country stood up against the NRA.
I want to talk about that moment after this break, because I don't think it was as bad on Bernie as people are saying it is.